Greetings of peace, love, and light. Blessings, shalom, assalamu alaikum. All right, so I I pretty much feel obligated to make this video due to um, a home birth that has gone viral recently. Um, it's on YouTube, but it was initially posted live on Facebook. The sister's Facebook name is Krystal Doula. You know, Krystal, if you watch this video, hopefully someone will get this video to you so that we can connect and have some real discussion together. I would really appreciate that, not in a way to bash you or anything like that. I do understand you've gotten a lot of negative feedback, and I'd like to address some of that. Her YouTube page is The Goddess Collection, aka Krystal, the Health Advocate. Um, And as everyone who's watching this video knows, and if you don't know, it's your first time watching my video or um, hearing from me at all for the first time, my name is Goddess Nanu, GODISNANU, and I'm an advocate for free birth, or what some will, exchange for unassisted birth, but those two things are not the same. So the sister in the video, um, congratulations to the mom who birthed the babies. Congratulations. Um, you had some miracles happening for you, and that's a blessing. Okay, that is a blessing. And I can definitely relate to the sister in this video. She's rough around the edges. Um, and, I can relate to that. It took me back. It took me back. I've lived in New Orleans before too. So it took me back. It was something I could really relate to. So it touched my heart in a way that I really had to take a moment to really reflect. And also to reflect on myself and my own inhibitions in regards to what I was watching. I do understand a lot of people in the birth community, which I'm familiar with the birth community as well. I am a doula and I am a trained doula, not certified, but I have been trained and I am self-educated in a lot of things. I also have a yoga teacher certification for, prenatal yoga teacher certification and things like that, and training and things like that. With prenatal massage and different things. So I am very self-educated when it comes to a free birth. And I have birthed all three of my children free at home by myself. Um, so I can relate. And this really hit me in a soft spot. And I know it is a very touchy topic, and I understand why people are in an uproar about it and things like that. But I want to um, come to the sister's defense, to her aid, and also shed light on some things, some areas, of course, where, okay, things could have been better. Okay, that's understandable. And I want to address those things as well. Um, you have to understand everybody's not from the same social economic status. And as a group of black women, we have to get beyond that. We have to get beyond that, and we have to get over that, over our pride, over our inability to see each other as just human beings and see where people are coming from. Because when you can't relate to people, sometimes it puts you at a disadvantage when trying to communicate with people or to communicate about a situation if you cannot relate to where those people are, okay? All right, so I understand some of the concerns, okay? And a lot of people don't understand what free birth is, okay? I know there's a lot of, I'm here to educate. That's what I do. um, to clear things up. So some things need to be cleared up, and I'm going to do it because I feel like I'm the only one really in the position to do it. You know, um, I'm constantly preaching about, us not going to the hospitals, about women following their intuition, align yourself, attune yourself, and alchemize. Absolutely. And, this sister was, she was definitely operating in that, to some degree. She was operating in that. And um, I understand the concerns there because it is obvious to someone who does have training, who is studied and skilled. It is obvious that there were a few missteps going on there where she did not have the proper training, and things could have went better. It could have went better, but they did the best they could with what they had and with what they knew. And thank God that only positive people were around. And you can tell these are people who are really seeking to be in their God body and was able to create a miracle. The first baby that came out, him coming, him, her not knowing how to resuscitate the baby and the baby coming to, that was a miracle. And all praises due to Allah. All praises due to Allah. All praises due to Allah. Okay, that was a miracle, and I thank God for the miracle. And that's a testament to our God power. Okay, so I'm not gonna diss the sister because of what she did not know. I'm not gonna rip her down because of what she did not know or anything like that. Um, but even though it is obvious to me that she did not know how to resuscitate the baby, she didn't know what to do. She didn't know that the sister needed to be using gravity on that breech birth. Probably would have avoided even needing to resuscitate the baby in the first place. There's some things that were unknown there. But God came through nevertheless. And we have to ask ourselves, what would the alternative have looked like if that sister had gone to the hospital with those breech babies and twins? What would that have looked like in a hospital room? Would there have been forceps? Would there have been a C-section? Would there have been hemorrhaging? Would there have been medication? Would those babies have lived? Would she have lived? Um, would God's spirit have been able to move in that type of setting where you have all these demonic people around that are influencing the situation and operating as though they are in control and in power of everything? So, there's you have intuition and God power versus knowledge and skills. But both are necessary. That's what I want to say. Both are necessary. You have one side of the spectrum where, of course, people who probably don't understand and have not come into the consciousness of using their intuition and using their God power in life, period. Before I knew how to do a lot of things, I was doing them. And then later had to learn, wow, I did this before I even knew that I was doing that, because I was walking in my God power and in sync with my divine self. Can I speak for the sister and say that's exactly where she was? No, I can't say that. I don't know her like that. I would love to have a conversation with her. I would love for her to see this video so we can really have a conversation about what was going on, so that I could better advocate for her and maybe better share with her some things that she is missing to make her better, because this is all about us being better. Because when you're better, I'm better, and we're better together. And unless we become better, we're going to always be walked over. Okay? And that's where we're at right now in this war that we're fighting, this war that's being waged on us. I have a lot I need to say about this. So, anyway, miracles happen, but we don't want to rely on miracles. if we don't need to, okay? So we do need to make sure we educate ourselves so that we can utilize both knowledge, intuition, and God power, all of that together, okay? We need all of that together. We have all got to come together with our own separate gifts, okay? And stop relying and depending on our enemies, okay? Now, of course, some people were upset about um, her not operating as a doula, okay? Because she was a doula should have nothing to do with the delivery of a baby. She should have been standing behind her, period. Nothing to do with the delivery of the baby, you know, none of that. You should just simply be encouraging the sister, and that's it. Um, and of course, you got a lot of doulas angry because the sister is saying she's a doula and she was not operating as a doula in that video, and they don't want people to be confused about what a doula is, and people are already confused about what a doula is. And this is a public video. I wish she had kept it private, but it's not private. It's live for everyone to see, your friends and enemies alike. So it's going to be used against us in one shape, form, or another. And it is what it is. It's going to be used against us. You can bet on that. That video is going to be used against us in the birth community, and as Black women in general, giving birth on our own terms. That it's going to be used against us. And that's not to say we shouldn't share those things, but we have to understand what sacred space is and keep our spaces sacred. Okay, some things should be sacred and don't need to be shared with the world. Yes, we want to normalize free birth. We want to normalize natural birth. We do. We want to normalize that. But we have to figure out how to do that in a way that's not going to jeopardize the whole. Okay? And maybe some of that was attention seeking. I can't say. I don't know the sister. Okay? It could have been attention seeking. It could have been a part of her wanting to promote, her business, or maybe she just wanted to advocate for free birth. I don't know what the intentions were, whether they were good or bad. I don't know, because I don't know the sister. Haven't talked to her, but I can say this, that something shouldn't be shared with the world, and that leaves the door open for entities, all those people who are watching. It's like sharing, that's like doing a live porno. You're sharing your sacred space with a whole bunch of strangers, and there's going to be consequences to that. There's definitely going to be consequences to that. All right, so bottom line, I think people need to understand what free birth is, and I do have a nonprofit organization dedicated to this, dedicated to free birth. And I have a free birth class right now. If you are interested in learning about free birth, take a class. I'm all about following your intuition, for sure. How can you birth freely without tuning into your divine self? You can't. Okay, you have to tune into your God power. But at the same time, you need to do it knowing what you're doing as well. Be conscious about it. Here, what I'm saying? And here, know what's going on. All right, so free birth refers to the process of intentionally giving birth without the assistance of a medical birth attendant. It's a planned process, so that makes it different from unassisted birth. Because unassisted birth, happens in an emergency. It's unassisted, but it's not planned. Free birth is planned, okay? So that was a free birth, not an unassisted birth, okay? It wasn't an accident. Didn't happen in a state of emergency or anything like that, okay? And that's every woman's right, to give birth where and however she wants. It's her body, her baby, her body. It's amazing that we can advocate for abortion and people have a problem advocating for free birth. Y'all look backwards for me. Y'all on y'all anti-life kick, okay? We got to get off that anti-life kick and get on the life kick, the freedom kick, the liberation kick. Come on, get with it. But anyway, so unassisted birth would be mostly due to, okay, they couldn't access a birth attendant, or something like that, or emergency situation. But free birth, you planned it, okay? And, any a non-medical birth attendant, family member, or friends can be there. And free birth and see birth is natural and normal function of the female body. And let's see here. Is this safer? Women feel safer. They feel more comfortable without a medical person there. And that makes it safer for them and the baby, unless they are high risk, okay? We do not encourage women with high risk pregnancies to choose this birth option, okay? And now, what is and what is not high risk? There's some gray areas there that probably apply to this video, okay? We don't know the sister that was giving birth and what her health records say, okay? We don't know. Her had say something about the sister going in and out of consciousness. We weren't there. We don't know them. We can only make assumptions, that hopefully she didn't have, it doesn't matter at this point because she's alive. The babies are alive. Everybody's okay, whether it was a miracle or not. Everybody's great. And that's better than them having gone to the hospital and not been great. So sometimes we have to put down what we think we know and just praise God, give God the glory, and trust God, okay, to bring us the victory in all situations and in all things. But anyway, she was in a gray area there, okay, because she was having twins, but she didn't know she was having twins, okay? Now, everybody who knows, maybe seen my videos or been in the birth group with me, you know that I birthed unassisted. In my last pregnancy, I thought I was pregnant with twins. My son is huge, okay? He probably ate his twin because one moment the doctor said we heard 2 heartbeats, the next moment, towards the end of the pregnancy, there was only 1 heartbeat, okay? And I refused to get an ultrasound. So I thought it was 2 babies and there was only 1, okay? And let's see here. So when there's a matter of medical emergency, okay, we have to be smart about it, okay? Would I have given birth to Breech twin babies at home? Absolutely. I would have. And if I needed an emergency C-section, Lord help us, my husband would have done it, okay? And everybody has their right to birth how they want to birth, whatever's the safest route for them. I would feel safer with my husband doing it than going somewhere else with somebody that I don't know and that don't trust. I would trust my husband over that, and he is trained to do it. So, that is what it is. Okay. Now, thankfully in this situation, none of that was needed. All praise is due to Allah. Okay. So that's what free birth is. And you say, what is a doula? Everybody wants to know what is a doula? Everybody's confused about what a doula is. What does a doula do? Now, a doula is supposed to provide emotional and physical comfort and support, spiritual as well, before, during, after the childbirth. Okay? They can provide information. They can provide guidance. They can advocate for you, but they do not deliver babies, okay? A doula is not qualified to deliver a baby, okay? And I'm going to do an extension to my free birth class on assisting in a free birth, okay? Because we need to know as doulas how to assist in a free birth situation. Because a lot of doulas are even afraid to approach the situation because they haven't had a free birth, okay? And they don't understand that free birth is when in a free birth situation, the mother is empowered, okay? The mother should know what she wants, what she's going to do. She is the person in charge in the situation, not the doula, okay? She is in charge, okay? So you lean to what she says, what she wants, etc. She should be educated in what's going to happen when and what to do and when, and you follow her instructions, okay? Um, Now, I know there's some training needs to be had in that, and I'm going to offer that as an extension to the free birth class that I'm going to be teaching, okay? Now, that being said, breech births, okay. Some people feel like breech births are high risk. Some doctors are going to classify it as high risk. Some midwives will classify it as high risk. Some midwives will not, okay, classify a breech birth as high risk because it is a variation of normal. Is there some risk in a breech birth? Yes, absolutely. And that's what you see in that video. Okay? That's what you're seeing in that video. You're seeing a breech birth where the mama didn't know and her sister or doula didn't know that she needed gravity to help move that baby out as quickly as possible because the pressure on the head. Okay? Yes, breech is a variation of normal, but it does pose a risk. Okay? It does pose a risk. And there's so many things that we have to know and understand. If we're going to be empowering ourselves to give birth, we need to do it knowledgeable. We need to make sure we have the knowledge, okay, to do it. You can't do it, say, well, I'm just going to rely on my ancestors. Yeah, that's great, but how sensitive are you even to instruction? Are you infallible? How sensitive are your ears anyway if you don't look? Now, some people are very sensitive. I know how I am. It's like that. Everybody's not like that. And then even still, you have to position yourself for that. Fasting, prayer, what you're eating, meditating, sunshine, connecting, tuning in, being outside, etc., etc. It doesn't just happen because you want it to happen or you say it's going to happen, okay? It takes effort. It takes skill. That takes knowledge. You got to know what you're doing. So, you know, thank God for miracles. Okay, a miracle happened in that situation, and all praise is due to Allah. Okay, all praise is due to Allah. Thank God for more black babies on this planet. Hoorah! I'm with it. You hear me? I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? And more of that's going to happen because I'm going to continue to advocate for women to empower themselves and to birth unassisted. Okay, and miracles will happen. But we don't want to rely on miracles, okay? I'm going to say that again. We don't want to rely on miracles, okay? Take a neonatal resuscitation class, okay? If you're going to birth unassisted, okay? Um, Take my unassisted birth class so you can know what to do, so you can know how to do your own prenatal care. You know, you need to know what's going on with your body, okay? You need to know what's going on with your body. You need to be able to know how to check your own blood pressure. You need to know how to check your own sugar levels, etc., etc. You need to know what's going on with your body so you know what the probability of certain things are when you give birth, etc., etc. You don't want to go into things blind. Yes, thank God for intuition. Thank God for God power. Thank God for miracles. But we don't want to rely on miracles if we don't need to. Okay? All right. Now there is a right way to do things, okay? So, and I know we get all in our goddess energy, right? And Lord help us. You don't realize that you have so much more growing to do. And there are people out here with love in their hearts that are here to lead and guide you that God put here. And we have to stop rejecting truth and rejecting information, thinking that, we're more than we are. Okay? And that's not to discourage anybody, that's not to rip anybody down. How can I when I'm teaching women to step into their God power and to walk as Christ walked the earth, to walk in the mind of Christ as a God on this planet when I'm teaching that? But guess what? That is, you don't just make up your mind and that happens, okay? It takes work. It takes work. There's a right way to do things, okay? There's law, there's universal law that has to be applied, okay? All right. And we have to understand we're also in a hostile environment. So you can't publicize everything, y'all, okay? We do have some real enemies out here. And that being said, we need to also stop running each other down when we don't agree, okay? Or leaving a sister out there stranded to be vulnerable in a vulnerable situation by herself without any support and protection. We should never do that, whether we agree with the sister or not. We should never do that. Do you value yourself, Black sisters? Okay, then we have to protect one another. We have to shield one another. We have to support one another. We have to have each other's back no matter what. You need to choose what side of the line you're on at all times. Choose what side of the line you're on at all times. Stop trying to police other women. You have to address the oppressor in you. I do that every day. Every day. I still do that for myself. I have to say to myself, am I loving my husband? Do I love him? Yeah, I've had to say that. Do I love my husband? And I had to fix myself. Yeah. I was upset about a couple of things in that video, but I guess what? I had to fix myself. Okay? I had to fix myself. Hold up. Hold up. Where is she coming from? What is her environment like? What were their alternatives? Did they choose the best one? If they did, all praise is due to Allah, because God came through for them. All praises too to Allah. I don't have nothing to say, but all praises due to Allah. And I hope this video gets to the sister so she can know that there's people out there that support her that she can learn from. Okay? We all got somebody we can learn from. And there is always a right way to do things. And we got to be careful out here what we're putting out there for the world, our enemies, friends, and foes alike to see and be able to use against us. I love y'all. I love y'all.